Hi everybody, this is Sayward from findyourdivinity.com, and I am here today to talk some real talk with some beginners, okay? So I was on Reddit this morning and answering questions and kind of just reading around as I like to do, and I saw somebody ask a really great question that I hadn't thought of, and I thought that I'd just do a little video on it. So hopefully it's helpful to a lot of you absolute beginners out there, okay? So the question, quite simply, is something that I hadn't even thought of. So maybe you guys can connect with this. Maybe you've been in this situation, right? You're very interested in the craft. You're trying to figure out what it is that you believe and learn and begin to explore this, right? You go to a group and you say, I think that witchcraft may be for me. I'm interested in learning more about spell work. What do you guys think that I should do? What do I do? And almost always someone will come back and say, well, you just need to read and do your research and, just let that guide you. Very common statement, something that we almost use to shut people down, it seems, because and I don't want it to seem that way. It's not that all the time, sometimes it is, but it's not that all the time people are being mean. It's just that we advanced or more advanced practitioners, people who have a little bit more experience under our belts, understand that the craft is so unique and personal and so based about your own beliefs and what resonates with you, that a lot of times either they want to make sure that you're really going out and trying to get into your personal craft, or they're not wanting to imbue their thoughts on you. Okay, so I don't think that it's that response, we'll go research about it, is necessarily always a negative, but for people who receive it, it can be really difficult. And here's why. If you're at the very beginning of things, you don't know what to research. It's quite that simple, Okay, well, you can tell me to go research, but what do I research? And so I kind of wanted to just create this video so that you guys could have a little bit of a walkthrough as to how you would start deciding what it is that you want to research, okay? I agree with everybody who believes that spell work is intensely personal. I agree with everybody who thinks that spell work is something that needs to be researched and that's something that needs to be taken with intention. However, I also have been a beginner before, and I also know what it is to kind of really not know how to get your footing. So hopefully this video helps. So to begin with, I don't know if any of you are nurses out there, but if you are, hello. The first rule of nursing, and in my mind, the first rule of witchcraft, is know thyself. All right? In order for you to decide what kind of a witch, what kind of craft, what kind of path, what kind of practice you want to research, learn, and become experienced in, you need to figure out what vibes with you, what resonates with you. And in order to do that, you gotta know what you like. So for many new practitioners, we have reached places in our lives where things necessarily haven't gone always the way that we'd hoped. And now we have found this path that not only offers us a lot of the same belief sets as we personally carry, but also offers us a way to do something about it. Okay? Not only are you just saying a prayer about a thing, but you're actually putting some focus into creating this craft. That's why we call it the craft, right? To manifest something. And that's why we call it witchcraft. So when you're just beginning, you are looking for that kind of connection. You're looking for reassurance and something to do and some way to get a guide point of yes or no. All right? It's very hard to find confidence in yourself. It's very hard to find belief when you are not only reading a ton of varying information, but then also having people who aren't necessarily being helpful or having a lot of different experiences, a lot of different ideas, and not necessarily anything that's quite pertinent to you. So it's important that you develop this moral compass for yourself And the way that you do that, the way that you find your craft, is by knowing yourself. So, how do you get to know yourself? What is it that you like? What has happened in your life? What is it that you're trying to do with magic? These are all questions that you need to consider and that you need to really get solidly in your mind. If you are a person who's approaching magic because you're like, you know what, I really love nature, I really love trees, I love the earth, I see how bad we're being to it, I feel like this earth connection. Well, there's a lot of different practices that you could go for, but Wicca is a very popular one, and it's a very earth-based religion, okay? You can do a lot of earth love, if you would, in this, and it's all positive magic, so this is something that is relatively safe for newcomers, and it's a path that a lot of people start out with, because one of the tenets of Wicca is that if it's harming nobody, you can, let it be. So we're not trying to hurt anybody. All of our purposes for craft are based in healing and positivity and abundance, okay? You're not trying to bind anybody. You're not trying to do any sort of dark magic, okay? This is a white magic following, and a lot of people are really drawn to it because it's so positive. But what if Wicca isn't for you? Right? What if you're like, yeah, but also sometimes people piss me off and I would really like to be doing something about that too? Well, there's a lot of followings in that way. So what you have to do first is to see what you're interested in. If you are interested in wildlife, like I said, and nature walks in that, start looking at green magic, okay? The color of nature, green, the Green Witch. Look at all of that. See what you can do. Find some herbal-based magics, okay? How do you do that? Get into your favorite search engine and type in green magic. Use the CK, because that's a really helpful way to delineate between magic being some sort of Magic the Gathering cards and magic being spellcasting, okay? Look at what you're interested in. If your best memories in your childhood have been your grandmother in her kitchen and, she was always throwing this and that together, maybe you're a kitchen witch. If you are a person who is just kind of like, you know what, the energy is everywhere, it is going to be what it's going to be, I'm going to put some stuff out there and see what happens, and you're looking for explosive results, I suggest you look at chaos magic. If you are a person who's like, well, if I'm going to be straight up honest about it, I'm here because I'm looking to try to get some revenge on somebody, I don't recommend doing magic for that immediately, especially as a new practitioner, because there's lots of ways that you can get bit from that. But if you're being real about it and that's really what you're looking for, then I suggest you start looking at dark magic, okay? Black magic spells, curses, join the black magic Reddit, whatever you're doing, okay? Find people. I don't care. That's the next step, is once you've figured out kind of what it is that you're interested in, you want to research this, all right, whatever keyword it may be, white magic, black magic, green magic, and start looking. Once you find something that you're interested in, oh, okay, look, I looked at the Wiccan Read and I feel like I'm a Wiccan. I feel like this is where I'm resonating. This is the best path for me right now. Then go find Wiccan people. Okay, if you're looking for black magic practitioners or people who work with demons or, ritualized black magic, go find those people. If you're looking for hoodoo practitioners, if you're looking for people who practice Santeria, if you're looking for these people, go find them and approach them with respect, okay? In all, whoever it is, right? We need to treat everybody with respect because that's what you're trying to get back. Do a little bit of research, and then begin asking specific questions. I think that one of the reasons why people get this very common, will go research it, answer is because they come with these very basic, very broad, kind of general, hey, I'm here and I want somebody to tell me how to do magic, which is not necessarily your intention, but that's the way that it can come off to someone who's on these threads all the time reading this stuff. They forget in their heads that, like, just because they're not new doesn't mean that everybody else isn't new. You know what I mean? So it's kind of this dualistic thing. So research a topic that you're interested in, find something that you have a question about, and then go to these people and ask a specific question, okay? If you do that, you're going to get a lot of varying responses, especially if you're on a black magic or occult one. Sometimes those groups can be a little difficult because people are particularly opinionated and they're not overly concerned with like love and light and caring about anybody else's feelings, right? So know your crowd too a little bit. But I digress. As long as you come with something that's honest and focused, more often than not, somebody is willing to give you an answer. Take that answer, think about it, maybe research that answer even. Okay, this is what they're talking about, doing your research, all right? The process of learning your craft and of really honing in and figuring out who you are, what kind of a practitioner you are, what you're interested in, and where you're going to start and continue your path from then on is literally about this trial and error. Okay, you do this thing and you see, okay, well, I tried this white magic and this is great, but now again, my boyfriend cheated on me and I'm feeling really this way, and maybe I'm a gray witch. Okay, so then you start reading about them and you decide, is this for me? Is this not for me? Okay, you ask some questions, get some feedback, get some ideas, all right? Your path is a journey. That's why they call it a path. It's not a stand, right? You can make a stand in your path or on your journey, but you are not standing. We are constantly moving. If you are not moving, you are stagnant, you are stuck in the same place. The same applies for your path, okay? What you start out as right now is probably not the practitioner that you are going to be a month from now, 10 months from now, 10 years from now, right? During that time, I have a feeling and I hope that you learn new things, you resonate with more, you find the things that really call to you. And in knowing that, in knowing yourself, you are able to answer those questions so that you can do the research, so that you can figure out what kind of witch you are. Okay? I know that it can be very daunting to answer these kinds of questions. I know that it can be really hard when you really feel something and then you put out your little hand there and you say, hey, can I have some help? And somebody just smacks it. Okay? I know how it is. So please understand that I don't think that anybody's trying to do that because they're just mean. Some people are, I guess. I shouldn't say anybody, but I don't think that most people are doing it because they're trying to be mean. I think that most people are doing it because they understand how important your magic being yours is in your manifestation. They really do want you to have the best results, and that comes from knowing yourself. So thanks, guys. If you have any questions, please list them below. If you have any more ideas or ways that we can get to know ourselves, appropriate, of course, please feel free to add them below, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Bye.